All right, I'm going to show you something else. This is called Relax on a Mat. And what I'm doing is I'm going to treat him for everything he does that's a little more relaxed than what he was doing before. So, I don't know if you can see his body language. So right now he's interested in the food and he's very curious about what's going on. And when you look at his body language, he actually is sitting. Before he was kind of wandering around, and that wandering around is a little more tense than when he sat. So when he sat, I fed him. So let me start all over. I'm going to toss him off. Then I'm just going to start dropping some food down here on the mat because I want him to get the idea that the mat is where all the magic happens. So I'm just dropping some treats for him to eat. And then I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm just going to go, take a big deep breath. And just kind of drop a few. And when I look at his body, he looks pretty, he's not too wound up. Yes, he just offered that SIT, that sit, so I'm going to give that to him, a treat. I'm also going to give him a treat for putting his head down, because having his head down looks a little more relaxed to me than having his head up and staring at food. He's just sniffing and looking for more food, which I'm happy with. The next step would be for him to get into a down position, or he might just kind of relax and start sniffing the ground, feeling a little more, so look at what he looks like when he's more interested in things. You see his ears perk up, you see him start to stare at the food, and he kind of gets this little worried expression in between his eyes. He kind of gets a furrowed brow, just like we do as people. When he starts to relax, his ears will start to kind of relax. He won't be staring at the food so much. And he might start to put his head down just a little bit. But for now, yeah. That to me looks more tense because he's pushing for the food. So it's no big deal. I'm just going to let him lick and chew. I don't care. But when he pulls away and relaxes again, then I'm going to feed him. Yeah, I like that. When he stops mauling my hands, I'm going to feed that. I like that he's putting his head down because in general I want him to be down. Nice. I like that he's just kind of hanging back and looking rather than mauling my hand. If he chooses to maul my hand again, I don't care. Yes, but he's learning that's what pays is to kind of back away a little bit. Yes, so when he puts his head down, I'm going to pay for that. Anytime his head is down and relaxed, I'm going to pay for that. He's just looking at me, but he's not mauling my hands. Oh, you're so cute. So I'm going to take a deep breath and just let him know we're just relaxing. Okay, there's more mauling of the hands. I don't care. But it's not going to pay. Yes. So you see he actually took a little step backward away from me. And what he was saying when he took that step back is, oh, I'm just relaxing. That's the opposite of relaxing what he just did. But I'm going to feed him for backing off a little bit. So again, I'm feeding him for everything that he does that's a little more relaxed. The next milestone for me would be for him to go into a DOWN, which I could ask him for. I could probably lure him into it, but I'm less concerned about the position itself and more concerned about his own state of being relaxed. Yes. So he went from jumping on my hands to stepping down and sniffing his mat, which I do like. I don't like the jumping on hands, but I do like head down, feet on the ground. And I would like more and more for him to start putting his head lower and lower. And eventually he'll just become more comfortable and just lie down. but that might take a little bit of time, which is fine. Did you find your snack? Did you find something delicious? Yes, good boy. Good boy. And I like that he's willing to just hang out back there. Okay, so he just went into a D-O-W-N. I'm spelling it because I don't want this to be an obedience thing. But he went into the down. Okay, pop back up, no big deal. I'm going to see if he's going to go back down. So look at his ears. In general, his ears, yes, at least they were, a little softer. Yes, I'm just going to kind of lure him down. Nice. What I was going to say is his ears look softer, his expression looks softer. So, and he's got a softer look in his eyes. Also, whenever he's looking away, I'm feeding him. Because to me it looks more relaxed when he is looking away or when he's sniffing the ground versus when he's staring at the food. Now, if he pops up, it's no big deal. It just gives me another chance, yes, to do another rep and have him work on going into the D-O-W-N. Yes, he started to step forward, but he thought it through and took that step back. I'm actually luring him down. I just put that treat in front of his nose and put it down on the ground. But I'm letting him know with that big breath that I'm just relaxing. The other thing I like is the way that he is lying down. It may be hard to see from your position, but if you look overhead, he's kind of oh, sorry, I'm not doing that very well. He's kind of in a relaxed, he's not in a real straight down. He kind of has one hip rocked over, and he's just kind of relaxing. So this is what I would work on, is have him go from walking around on the mat, dropping some treats. Eventually he's going to go into an SIT, so treat him for that. Treat him as he starts to look down at the ground. Treat him for anything you see that looks a little more relaxed than what you were doing before. Good boy. And eventually, as we start to work with this, I'm going to work with, do a little more practice. Pretty quickly, you're just going to put out a mat. Just take a deep breath. And he's just going to kind of melt down into this down position. I love how his, I don't know if you can see, his front paw is kind of curved under. That to me looks relaxed. But pretty soon you're just going to put out that mat, take that deep breath, and he's just going to melt into this position and start putting his head down, maybe his chin on his paw. And it's very nice for him to learn how to manage his own body sensation. Learning how to relax himself. Boy. Yes, he's starting to put his head down already. This dog is so smart. I'm going to treat him for that. He's sniffing, but he's also kind of scuffing his chin along there.